in-house financing. You'll be amazed what we can do. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, new information revealed about last week's murder in Mangilao.
A DEPCOR officer is fired after testing positive for drugs.
And President Trump delivers his first address, details and reaction ahead. Hafa day and good evening. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Crystal Paco.
New and heartbreaking details are released into Friday's homicide in Mangilao.
2 men are behind bars charged with the brutal beating and killing of the Mangilao man. Here's more. He was beaten and left for dead when an early morning jogger discovered 42-year-old Gilbert Alvarez Jr. last Friday. He was unconscious by the roadside. His death a result of a skull fracture. The manner of death a homicide. On Tuesday, 19-year-olds Malo Sally and Aylas Cimarron were arrested. On Wednesday, the duo made their first appearance in front of Magistrate Judge Alberto Tolentino.
The people of Guam are charging you as follows. Aggravated murder is a first-degree felony. Murder is a first-degree felony. Manslaughter is a first-degree felony. First-degree robbery is a first-degree felony. Second-degree robbery is a second-degree felony. Aggravated assault is a second-degree felony. Theft of a motor vehicle is a second-degree felony. Aggravated assault is a third-degree felony.
Both Sally and Cimarron are each being held on $250,000 cash bail. In court today, prosecutor Sean Brown justified the high bail amount, explaining the suspects allegedly planned the violence and left the victim there to die.
This is a case where it appears that the suspects in the case, the defendants charged, planned the attack. They actually accomplished their theft of his motor vehicle using extreme violence and a deadly weapon. And instead of helping the victim get to medical assistance, they left him to expire on that road alone.
According to court documents, the two suspects first spotted Alvarez at a dugout in Mangilao. The men asked Alvarez for a ride home, but on the drive conspired in Chukis to beat him up and steal his truck. Alvarez fought back using a metal pipe, but he was outnumbered. The men punched him and put him in a chokehold and continued to beat him with the same metal pipe, ignoring his pleas for help. When Alvarez appeared lifeless, they fled the scene and crashed the truck in Jigo before walking to the zero-down Gilbaza subdivision. Detectives interviewed with residents in the area who confirmed hearing about 2 men who beat a man and stole his truck. In an interview with KUAM earlier this week, the victim's father, Gilbert Alvarez Sr., reminisced on his recently deceased son, describing him as a stay-at-home father who showed him plenty of love and respect.
Every time he sees me, he shakes my hand and gives me a big hug and, and tell him, Dad, I love you. He's a good boy.
For this case to proceed through the judicial system, a Superior Court grand jury must indict both defendants no later than March 10.
Now to a story you'll see right here first on KUAM. The Department of Corrections is firing one of its own after the officer apparently failed a drug test. DEPCOR is now 1 corrections officer short.
It is disappointing that this person did not take that seriously, took his position as a law enforcement officer seemingly very lightly in using drugs.
The officer, whose name has not yet been released, is cut from the department. his termination coming just a little more than 2 months after he was hired.
This is one of our new guys, one of our rookies, and truly for all of them who graduated in December, we had hoped for them to have a long and fruitful career, in corrections. We invested a lot of time, energy, effort, training them, giving them the skills that they need.
Last month, KUAM told you about a special operations contraband check that DepCorp carried out with Guam Customs as officers reported to work. It was during an inspection of the incoming Midnight Platoon when DepCorp Deputy Director Kate Baltasar says they got a hit.
We had a vehicle search throughout our parking lot. The drug sniffing dogs went around to the vehicles with the officers present. So the owners of the vehicles were there and gave consent at the time.
And it was through that inspection the K-9 officer alerted them to a parked car, prompting them to open all the doors. And inside, the smell, well, it reeked of pot. The officer never refusing to have his car checked.
An extensive search was conducted. There was no contraband found in the vehicle at the time. However, there was a strong smell of possible marijuana.
A smell that left the department with no other choice but to have the officer take a drug test the very next day.
So after a week, which was yesterday, we got the results that this officer did in fact test positive for marijuana.
Baltasar could not release the 24-year-old corrections officer's name, only saying that the Department of Administration termination process is ongoing.
There's no safe harbor for law enforcement, though, so regardless of where he is in the process or where the process is at this point, he is considered no longer with our department. Unfortunately, there are these bad apples that, paint a really terrible picture for the other officers. But I would say to the good officers, the ones that, truly toe the line, stay the course.
A woman caught trying to smuggle drugs and tobacco into the prison appeared in court today. 24-year-old Wilmalyn Cabrera was charged with promoting prison contraband. On Tuesday, she was visiting the Mangilao facility when she was caught allegedly passing on drugs to an inmate. When confronted by prison guards, she revealed more contraband in her body cavity. KUAM took a closer look at the items today, what appears to be egg-sized packages of marijuana and tobacco stuffed into latex gloves. Cabrera was released on a $20,000 performance bond.
It's now been more than 1 day since the 12-member jury started deliberations in the murder trial against Mark Torrey Jr. Torrey Jr. is being accused of the 2015 shooting death of Officer Bert Pielo. The evidence and witness testimony heard over the 17-day trial has been given over to the jury to help them come up with a verdict. The prosecution argues Torrey should be found guilty for recklessly causing Pielo's death, while the defense contends Torrey was only trying to stop Pielo from taking his own life when the gun went off. We will keep you posted with the very latest as we wait for a verdict.
Derek Baza Hills continues to make headlines, and not for his bid in the upcoming election. As reported yesterday, we caught the former senatorial candidate in handcuffs at the Hagutnya precinct. According to court documents, he stands accused of stealing a cell phone from MacTech Guam, located at the Hagutnya shopping center. When interviewed by police, Hills admitted to stealing the phone out of frustration, but trying to return the phone via a third party. We should note Hills is already on pre-trial release for a February case and probation for a 2015 case, both of which involved forged signatures for prescription drugs. He remains behind bars on $5,000 cash bail.
Now to the latest with the head of the Department of Education, many at the edge of their seats, expecting to find out if the superintendent will return to work tomorrow.
But as Issa Baza reports, he's been granted 3 more days of leave, and we are told it is unlikely he will be back before next Tuesday.
8 days and counting since the Guam Education Board voted to reinstate John Fernandez as head of the Guam Department of Education. Many, including Board Chair Peter Alexis Ada, are waiting for his final decision.
Currently, the select committee, which I appointed, are meeting with John Fernandez to iron some things out.
The discussions aim at resolving issues surrounding his employment contract, including legal fees, which member Ron McNinch said are part of the equation because Fernandez was forced to go to court to have his contract enforced.
John may turn around and say, I do not wish to continue. But I'm looking at it in a positive sense. The way things are going and being reported, there's a lot of hope.
However, McNinch said negotiations will likely continue through the weekend, adding a special Guam Education Board meeting is scheduled for next week and will revisit some of the items that have been pointed out in the employment contract. As for the $7 million lawsuit filed in federal court by Fernandez against the board and 6 members, attorney Gary Gumatao said that's a separate matter completely.
The fact that the board may or may not reinstate Mr. Fernandez does not affect the lawsuit. It might down the road affect it, but at this stage of the proceedings, it doesn't.
According to documents filed in the District Court of Guam on Tuesday, a scheduling conference is scheduled for March 14 at 9 a.m. before Chief Judge Francis Tyrinko Gatewood. The parties also expressed interest in private mediation. However, Gumatao said mediation probably won't take place anytime soon. Meanwhile, ADA confirmed Fernandez has been granted 3 additional days of leave as both parties work to resolve the matter. While there has been no official word from Fernandez on his possible return, he has been retweeting comments from students on Twitter. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Still to come, the latest with rolling back raises for elected leaders. Details from today's hearing at the legislature. That and more ahead. Stay tuned.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming, KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Do you want to get discounts at local restaurants like Lone Star, CPK, Capricciosa, Delmonico Kitchen and Bar, Manhattan Steakhouse, Tony Roma's, and lots more? What about 25% off on all natural and organic items at Payless Supermarkets daily? It's all part of Guam's largest rewards club, the Calvo's Lifestyle Club. Join today for free as an added benefit to being a Calvo's Insurance customer. Just show your Lifestyle Club card at over 50 of our rewards partners to start saving more. It's just one of the ways Calvo's Insurance helps you live a better lifestyle.
Hey, smart spenders. Shell's Buy Food, Get Fuel promo is back. And this time, Shell's giving away grocery coupons too. Shell has partnered up with Cost You Less and Island Fresh to help you save. Spend $30 at any Cost You Less or Island Fresh and receive coupons for $5 off of your next $30 fuel purchase at any Shell station, or purchase $30 of fuel at Shell and receive a coupon for $5 off any $75 Cost You Less or Island Fresh store purchase. Visit Shell, Cost You Less, or Island Fresh today and start stacking on savings. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
This is pollock, and this is pollock, but they're totally different. One is pollock South Dakota, and the other is real wild-caught Alaska pollock from a certified sustainable fishery. And that's the pollock you'll find in the McDonald's filet of fish. So, no matter where you are, you can always get real fish caught sustainably from here. So let's review. This is that one place called pollock, this is real wild-caught Alaska pollock, and this is who can bring it all together, sourced from a sustainable fishery. And it's delicious.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I've got just the one for you.
We opened our online store, upgraded our website, and increased our call center to better serve customers.
Yeah! What do you think?
Solid.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back. Donald Trump gave his first primetime address to Congress, laying out his legislative plans. The president admitting he's been a mediocre messenger leading up to tonight. And this was a chance for him to clarify his agenda and get lawmakers on board.
Weiji Zhang has more from Capitol Hill.
The President of the United States.
President Trump touted the accomplishments of his first 40 days in office.
We have undertaken a historic effort to massively reduce job-crushing regulations.
And then got down to his domestic agenda in a primetime address to Congress. That includes the repeal and replacement of the Affordable Care Act.
The way to make health insurance available to everyone is to lower the cost of health insurance, and that is what we are going to do.
The president also promised tax reform.
We will provide massive tax relief for the middle class.
The president refrained from using divisive rhetoric and urged members of Congress to work together on immigration reform and a proposed $1 trillion infrastructure plan.
Everything that is broken in our country can be fixed.
But the president's speech was met with some resistance. Dozens of Democratic women in the House wore white, an historic nod to the women's suffrage movement.
The message we're sending to our president is we're not going back.
Former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear delivered the Democratic response, criticizing the president's behavior in office.
So far, every Republican idea to replace the Affordable Care Act would reduce the number of Americans covered.
An optimistic President Trump asked lawmakers to join him in dreaming big, bold, and daring things for the country. Weijia Jiang, Guam's News Network.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has called all Republican senators to a meeting tomorrow to focus on the repeal and replacement of the Affordable Care Act.
The president also spoke about emphasizing an immigration policy based on merit and skills. Trump said that, quote, those seeking to enter a country ought to be able to support themselves financially, end quote. He said not enforcing this rule strains, quote, resources that our poorest citizens rely upon and cost taxpayers billions of dollars a year, end quote. Calvo administration spokesperson Oyal Nilalikle says they support such a policy, but it is unclear if it applies to compact migrants who are allowed entry based on a treaty.
It'll allow the governor, the governor and the people of Guam, a greater voice and a greater ability to control, some of the borders of our island.
COFA migrants are allowed in the U.S. specifically for education or employment, but enforcement has been lacking for those who don't comply. Separately, Governor Calvo recently launched a crackdown on non-citizen convicts, and so far, 23 criminals have been turned over to federal authorities for deportation or were granted early release if they agreed not to return. In a statement, Calvo said Trump's focus on public safety supports his effort.
Does not want to just close our borders to migrants. Guam is a community of migrants. It's a diverse community, and we celebrate, the different cultures.
Calvo also believes Trump's plan to increase defense spending would be a boost to Guam's economy and might also help resolve the rejection rate for H-2B foreign workers, which he says threatens the Guam military buildup. A trio of bills are up for debate as lawmakers set the agenda for the first session of the 34th Guam legislature. And while it may be a new term in a new house, the bills will seem all too familiar, including another attempt to repeal raises for your elected leaders. One the island's mayors strongly opposed. Ken Kitiniza has more.
The agenda has been set.
Well, we definitely have some large issues, and I think that tackling those issues in our first session is going to be a very healthy start.
And nearly 3 months into the new term, the Guam legislature is prepared to head into its first session next week. The Committee on Rules met Wednesday and approved 3 bills for the session agenda. One of the bills up for debate is Senator Frank Uggan Jr.'s Bill 4. This measure would repeal raises only for the governor, lieutenant governor, and senators. It's one of several proposals the Mayor's Council of Guam is against. Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani.
And whereas the Mayor's Council of Guam, understanding and agreeing with the administration that keeping salaries as passed in Public Law 33-136 and 32-208 would be in the best interest of the government and the people of Guam.
Matanani read a resolution expressing total opposition to the passage and enactment of Bill 4, along with Bills 5, 6, and 11, all related to raises. Bill 11 is Senator Michael Nicholas's measure that would repeal raises for elected and appointed officials. While the mayors and vice mayors are not included, they've still unanimously passed the resolution today. The vote comes just as mayors recently met with San Nicolas to discuss these bills. Executive Director Angel Sablon.
He put it out for a public hearing because he wants to see what happens to Bill number 4, which is Senator Uggan's bill. And he told us to let you know that he does not feel that Bill number 4 will pass the Guam legislature. And if that happens, he will not introduce Bill 11. He will not push for Bill 11. He will withdraw Bill 11. And instead go for a voter initiative.
So Nicholas says what he actually told the mayors is depending on what happens with Bill 4 in next week's session will determine how he proceeds with Bill 11. He hasn't set a public hearing yet on Bill 11 in order to not confuse the issue with Bill 4.
I mean, that's always an option on the table as well. If we're unable to politically secure the votes necessary within this House to be able to move the issue forward, ultimately it may be in the best interest to just give the public their opportunity to vote on the matter. But that also is premature. I would like to give Bill 4 its full opportunity.
As for the mayor's resolutions, Nicholas says it's consistent with their position in the past. Various members of the governor's cabinet last month also testified against Bill 4 and similar measures. In the meantime, in light of the public feedback on these proposals, St. Nicholas says it should make for a very interesting first session.
Everybody is excited about this first session, and I'm confident that it's going to be something that the people of Guam are going to be very satisfied with.
Session starts the morning of Tuesday, March 7th. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Well, on that note, along with Bill 4 to repeal raises for the governor, lieutenant governor, and senators, the Committee on Rules added Bills 3 and 9 to next week's session agenda. Both measures were introduced by Speaker B.J. Cruz. Bill 3 would require the administration to choose the most economical and beneficial healthcare insurance proposal plan for Gov. Guam. Bill 9 would raise the minimum age for anyone buying tobacco products or e-cigarettes from 18 to 21. Also on the agenda, a resolution and 5 appointments, including the confirmation of former Chair Francisco Santos to serve as the board member for the port. Santos was appointed last year. However, his nomination never made it out of committee since former Port Oversight Chair Senator Tom Addett failed to act before the end of last term.
A new campaign is launched today aimed at protecting the natural and cultural resources of Guam, land identified for the military's live fire training range. The action group Kutayi Liteksan Save Retidian opposes the establishment of any military firing range and started an online petition and letter campaign to elected officials urging them to not sign the Integrated Natural Resource Management Plan. This plan would allow for the construction of the live fire training range complex at Andersen Air Force Base. The group hopes elected leaders will ensure the utmost protection of endangered species and ancestral and historic sites like Liteksan and Urunao, along with Pagan and Tinian and our northern Guam lands aquifer. Along with the online petition, the group will hold its first community wave this Friday, March 3rd, from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Chief Kapua Loop in Hagåtña.
Stay tuned. Sports is next, but first, here's weather.
And Mighty, we're celebrating President's Day in a huge way. Nothing says boss like the Ram 1500, voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. Take up to $4,750 off, or the Jeep Wrangler. Take up to $2,500 off. How about the award-winning 2017 Hyundai Accent, now $12,995, or the redesigned 2017 Hyundai Elantra, now $16,995. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com today for quick and easy financing. It's all happening right here at Cars Plus and Mighty, celebrating President's Day all month long. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Chuck E. Cheese's Guam is not all fun and games. Our pizza is delicious with the freshest toppings, oven-baked to order. Try the fresh salad bar, sandwiches, and don't forget our mouth-watering wings. Come and eat at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower.
Yay! You know she's having a boy, right?
Oh boy.
Buick now has an SUV for that. Introducing the new Buick Encore.
I knew I could trust you guys with the cake. No problem. That was close.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick.
Buick celebrates March Madness. Get a sweet 16% below MSRP on select 2017 Buick SUVs in stock. That's over $4,400 on this 2017 Encore.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Off a day, Guam. Chris Barnett with sports, proudly brought to you by Triple J. Thanks for joining me on this hump day. Let's kick it off with some basketball for a great cause. The Fade Away from Violence Basketball Clinic for At-Risk Youth held March 2nd and 3rd at the Guam Sports Complex Gym. Close to 100 students from FBLG, BMS, Untalan, Agata, and Jose Rios will be participating in the two-day event.
We want to give the kids healthy alternative lifestyle choices, decision-making avenues in which they can actually use sports and use exercise as a way to break away from drugs, alcohol, and violence. And we're targeting our teenagers within the middle schools.
The clinic emphasizing teamwork and sportsmanship with the main objective, having fun while learning the game of basketball.
First and foremost, having fun is key, and also teamwork. I'm going to have everybody work together as a team, have a common goal. So, I mean, that's the real idea behind the camp that we're going to do. You know, we're going to do ladder, agility drills, get them work out, light plyometrics maybe, and then this common goal, everybody work together, have fun.
Guam Elite Basketball has partnered up with GPD to help reach out to the youth. Since August of last year, the Guam Elite Basketball program has grown from 75 kids to over 200 in 7 different age divisions.
So the 3 principles we instill with all our athletes is, number 1, working hard. The second one is working smart. And the third one is working consistently. And we strongly believe at Guam Elite that you can't have one without the other. You need to instill all 3 to become the complete athlete, both on and off the court.
IIAG boys basketball playoffs from JFK. The Islanders hosting the Titans off the T-Zen miss. JFK going the other way. Sean Gomez with the ball, hits the shot. 0-1-1 plus long distance. 3 for the home team. T-Zen answer back. Last Made making the three-pointer from the corner. Made missing on the shot here. Alshay Grape with the loose ball, drives to the basket, goes up and finds Galang. Baseline for the easy bucket. Bang shot. Franklin Tyron to Tino Bueques to Vander Valentino inside the paint for the finish. T-Gen built an early lead behind their outside shooting. John C. Hagel making it rain from downtown. Islanders call a timeout after the score. Alshay Grape with the steal. Saki on defense, showing his speed to get down court. Grape with some hang time. Shaka to get the tough reverse lay-in to fall for 2 points. Last Made showing his range from the corner. Made the three-point attempt here. See, I did that. Made. Islanders dig deep to pull off the dub. Galang to Grape, back to Galang. Little give and go. Galang, Euro step to get in with a left-handed finish. Islanders win 68-52. 76 Circle K brings you the 8th annual Paddles Against Cancer benefit race going down this Sunday at Matapang Beach. The event held to help raise funds and awareness for Guam's Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. Competitors and fans can look forward to a fun-filled day of paddling races, barbecue competition, wow, and other activities for the kids. This year's theme is the 80s. So come in your best 80s attire. That's 1980s, not 1880s. Showtime, 8 in the morning. Races start at 9. Bowlers, Nestor Valencia crowned Guam Senior Bowlers Federation February tournament champion, edging out Raleigh Hernandez 190-182. 3 straight open frames by Hernandez was all Valencia needed to come from behind for the win. The next monthly senior tournament scheduled for Sunday, March 26th, 11 a.m. at, of course, Central Lanes. All right, Guam. Hey, stay dry out there on this hump day. On behalf of our sports director, Dave Delgado, my name's Chris. You keep on shining. Adios!
Take on any road with intelligent all-wheel drive. The new Nissan Pathfinder, Rogue, and Armada.
Hey, smart spenders. Shell's Buy Food, Get Fuel promo is back. And this time, Shell's giving away grocery coupons too. Shell has partnered up with Cost You Less and Island Fresh to help you save. Spend $3 at any Cost You Less or Island Fresh and receive coupons for $5 off of your next $30 fuel purchase at any Shell station, or purchase $30 of fuel at Shell and receive a coupon for $5 off any $75 Cost You Less or Island Fresh store purchase. Visit Shell, Cost You Less, or Island Fresh today and start stacking on savings. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
For the last 5 days, 17 hours, and 23 minutes, you've been a passenger.
I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss
The new Mazda 6 with Sky Active Vehicle Dynamics makes it good to be a driver.
belong back in baby's arms.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Coastal and Creamery Birthday Club. First up, Tristan Didasco, happy leap year day. We love you, mommy, daddy, and the whole family. Nathan Davis, happy 10th birthday to you. Hope you have a super day filled with love, laughs, and joy. We love you from Mom, G, and your sister Nessa. Also, a happy birthday to Jasmine Quintaniza.
Happy birthday to you, Davina Regis, from friends and family. We love you. Happy 4th birthday, James J. Taga, the 2nd. Happy birthday, Madison Nora Akininuk, leap year baby, 5th birthday from your mommy. Happy birthday, Carl Kaminga Palomo, from your sweet honey Nadine, Corey, and the whole fam bam.
And remember, you can be a part of the Coastal and Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and your birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here on the news desk. Stay tuned. Bree's next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
March 1st officially marks the start of Mes Chamoru. A special proclamation signing ceremony was held at the Guam Museum. Acting Governor Ray Tenorio.
It doesn't matter how you represent the culture of Guam. It doesn't matter where you were born. What you identify with in your heart is what makes you Chamoru. I know there are people in this group and others in this island who are married to people from across the globe, who come here, who learn the dance, who learn the culture, who learn the art, who learn the language, who learn about the Chamorro culture, the respect. That is what makes them Chamorro. What makes us, the people of Guam, the most proud people is our history, our legacy, and our future. Learning about where we came from.
Afide and welcome to Extra. We kick off our celebration of Mes Chamoru by checking in at the Guam Museum, where Isa Baza is standing by with more information about a new exhibit. Isa.
Thanks, Bree. I'm here with Nicole Delisle Duenas at the Guam Museum, the new Chamorro exhibit, which is opening this week. So can you tell us a little bit about this new exhibit?
Sure, absolutely. The exhibit consists of more than 200 images and artifacts which provide a glimpse of the historical context through which Chamorro identity has been understood and has evolved. So the exhibit takes visitors through the different eras of Guam history, from the earliest settlements in the pre-Lati and through the Lati era, and through the periods of colonization by Spain, Japan, and the United States, and to our modern contemporary period. Some of the artifacts that are included in the exhibit include pottery and tools from the Naton Beach site, which is the current location of the Loti Hotel, and then also of Letexan over at Retidian. And so both these sites are very representative of these two eras of ancient history. Of course, also because Guam has a long experience with colonization, we also have artistic renderings of Chamorros by Europeans who were in the Marianas. But permeating throughout the exhibit are quotes that reflect the sense of Chamorro identity, of how Chamorros see themselves reflected in history and in the artifacts of the past.
So it's a great place to take your family, especially during Chamorro month. It's a great family experience you can tell your children, help them learn about a little bit about Guam's history. And there's so much that takes you throughout the history of Guam, whether it's through the Spanish colonization to our when the Japan occupation of Guam happened. What else can they expect from the exhibit?
Right, so all these things that kind of make up our current understanding of identity. But in addition to the exhibits, the exhibit experience will just, kind of seeks to, educate, exactly like you mentioned, to kind of educate and enhance this kind of sense of pride that we all kind of, feel about, that we all feel as people of culture, no matter what culture, but especially for Chamorro's, being Mes Chamoru. But in addition to the exhibit, we also have some programmings that kind of correlate with this particular exhibition. So, every second Saturday, the Guam Museum hosts Ha'anan Familia. And so for March, we're going to have like a Lati construction course. Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano and Joe Valoria were offering a course over at UOG. I think they're still offering the course at UOG, but they are going to be coming, that's March 11th, to do a Lati construction activity. And so the kids, families come in and can enjoy that. In addition to that, we're also going to be doing a Chunka tournament, and there's going to be a lecture on Chamorro identity. And we're also looking to put together like a poetry slam. So more on that, just check out the Facebook page, Guam Museum Facebook page, or our website for more information on those activities.
Okay, and I think this is a really great exhibit to come to, especially if you want to learn more about your history, about your culture. Because I know for when I went to college, people would always ask me, "Oh, what's Chamorro? What does it mean to be Chamorro? What is Guam?" And so coming to an event like this really helps you connect with your roots. You can kind of see how your culture has been portrayed and some of the archaeological artifacts and maybe what that might mean about our history. And so again, when does this exhibit open to the public?
Friday, March 3rd, and the museum will be open. Right now, the museum is open, the cafe is open, and the Guam Museum gift shop is open. But the exhibition will open up, yes, Friday, March 3rd, and our hours are Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 5.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to add? Have you had a chance to walk through the exhibit at all yet?
We're kind of just putting it together and putting the last touches on the exhibit and looking forward to opening our doors on Friday.
All right, well, thanks so much. We'll have more on that, of course. The exhibit opens Friday, so make sure to check that out. Bree, back to you in studio.
Thanks a lot, Issa. Again, the new exhibit starts this Friday, and KUAM is very honored to be participating in the exhibit. You'll get a chance to learn about our humble beginnings. Stay tuned. Our coverage of Mes Chamoru continues after the break.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Tourism. It's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
Taco Bell has made a shell entirely out of fried chicken. Sounds crazy, but is it? That's what they said about the first car, rock and roll, or even the internet. The new Naked Chicken Chalupa from Taco Bell. You might think it's crazy. Crazy delicious.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Yes, it's time to recognize those heroes in our community that make a difference, that go above and beyond and work relentlessly to make our island a better place. For their commitments to health, the environment, our culture, their future, and our community as a whole. It's time to pay tribute to these shining stars. The 6th Annual KUAM Care Force Honors. Visit KUAM.com to nominate someone today. The 6th Annual KUAM Care Force Honors is presented by
Welcome back. Tonight we are previewing episode 2 of Gwinaydsan Mamatinas, The Love of Cooking, a monthly Chamorro language cooking segment for kids of all ages hosted by Callie and Nina Farron. Every month, Callie and Nina presents easy-to-make local recipes. This month, she makes pan aga, or banana bread. The features are entirely in Chamorro, so viewers will receive a language lesson as well as a cooking lesson in the process. Host Callie and Nina Farron is the daughter of local restaurateurs and Chamorro cultural advocates Lenny and Pika Farron. She is also a proud student of the Harao Academy.
Holiday, Gausi, Callie and Nina, Shetty Anya Z, Esi Zoku Show, Gwinaydsan Mamatinas. Fatinas pan aga para una azura sita sahu. Esta gui inanazetnia. Mediana basan mantequiza. Un basan azúcar. Un zan un y media basan harina. Dos na soda na mazlaka. Quatrina masan aga ni matigas mod. Un cucharita baking soda, media na cucharita azúcar, zan media na cucharita vanilla. Finalina necesita un fajan agad zan un golf masa. Entre mas masa, mas malik set sempre sen mamas. Sempre un tungo na sen masa zangin talaga ikalotnya ginin amarizu para chocolate. Eso, por favor, cocina un lasas y aga para guau, sizos masi. Huguaiza estina pati. In isa ikanay mami para intigas y aga. Pues by hu nadanya y azúcar zan y mantequiza. Hagu tatigas toru zani aga. Tuli ochu nata son zan zalaki itara. Hagu nadanya itara zan imexclan aga. Di ochu tason na danya y asiga baking powder zan harina. Tot mi home gidunklu nata son zan zalaka talu. Necesita trustes para una logo. Malagzo by who Fatinas muffins. Pues by polo toru inana zatnya gi muffin tray. Adai satsinya apata na totu esti. Necesita ta na listu ifegun. Na logo ipan gi 350 na maipi. Para 45 minutos. Na home e chopstick pat e session mantequiza guitalgu adai sat maipi. Until na esta masa sa humuzong gasgas. Latnyos huzong ginin e hetnu lo adai sat sen maipi. Bison un sana para u azurahao. Tata cocina azura za lumatnos esti. Pabu esta sino un goza y pan agat na muffin. Sizos masi na un agat y zoku na show. Agat tatlu ochu yai. Pufabat para y Gwinaydsan Mamatinas. Adios!
Guanais and Mamatinas is regularly seen on Saturdays during the Today Show on KUAM TV8 at 8:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. and at 8:30 in the morning during the early show on KUAM TV11. The feature is also streamed on all platforms across KUAM Digital, KUAM.com, the KUAM News mobile app for iOS and Android, the KUAM News app for Apple TV, and our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter channels. Stay tuned at the bars next with Isa Vaza.
At Cars Plus and Mighty, we're celebrating President's Day in a huge way. Nothing says boss like the Ram 1500, voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. Take up to $4,750 off. Or the Jeep Wrangler, take up to $2,500 off. How about the award-winning 2017 Hyundai Accent, now $12,995. Or the redesigned 2017 Hyundai Elantra, now $16,995. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com today for quick and easy financing. It's all happening right here at Cars Plus and Mighty, celebrating President's Day all month long. Cars Plus, driven by you.
There's no place on Guam like Chuck E. Cheese's. It's tons of fun with so many games, and parties are a blast, where everyone has fun. Come and party at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Call and book your party today.
Taco Bell has made a shell entirely out of fried chicken. Sounds crazy, but is it? That's what they said about the first car, rock and roll, or even the internet. The new naked chicken chalupa from Taco Bell. You might think it's crazy. Crazy delicious.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
Hafne, and welcome to the Fashion and Art edition of KUAM News Extra. I'm Isa Baza here with Chris Panda Estacio for our At the Bar segment. And in celebration of Chamorro Month, everyone is out celebrating this month. We have 2 Chamorro themed cocktails. So Panda, tell us about what we're making today.
All right, for this one, in the spirit of Chamorro Month, I know a lot of the families and a lot of the friends that like to do a lot of desserts that have to do with Chamorro Month. So I want to kind of go back to my roots and make something that my grandmother liked making. So I made the grandma's latiza, and then I'm also making a coconut candy drink that not a lot of people have available to them. So that's pretty much what I'm making for you today.
All right, latiza and coconut candy, 2 of my favorite things. Did you come up with these recipes by yourself?
Yes, actually we did a Stoli competition a couple years ago, and I had to come up with something really local and everything like that. So I want to come up with something. I just finished eating latiza from my grandmother, and that just popped into my head, and I want to make something like that.
Okay, and of course, Panda is an award-winning bartender. So let's get started with drink number 1.
Okay, the first drink that we're going to make is grandma's latiza. Very, very simple, very easy to make. It's not something that you would have a hard time making, but just going to keep it simple. Yeah. For this one, we're going to be using Stoli vanilla vodka. And then we're also going to be using rum chata, which is a cinnamon liqueur. And then we're going to have all the other things like sweetened condensed milk, vanilla extract, the basic things you would actually have in a latiza drink minus the eggs.
Okay, sounds good.
So we can go to start with this. So we're using rum chata, cinnamon liqueur. So we're going to do about half an ounce of that into your blender. For this drink, you would need a blender. Okay.
Just pour it on ice.
Pour it straight into the ice. The good thing about blending drinks is that the flavors can actually blend well together, and then you don't have any of that graininess that you would get from regular cocktails. And you need about an ounce of Stoli vanilla vodka. Okay. Then we need about 2 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. If you're on a diet, though, if you don't want anything too sweet, then you could just use regular cream.
You can just switch out your dessert for this instead.
Okay. And you need about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but you can use fresh vanilla bean if you like.
Just doing it by hand.
Yeah. Just to get that flavor. A lot of people like theirs really sweet, so it really depends on what they like. So then
just a few ingredients.
Just simple, very, very, very simple ingredients. And then just once you start blending, once you get the consistency that you want, where it's not too heavy and not too light, and it's something that you can actually eat with a spoon at the very, very end. So it's a cocktail that you can drink, and then as soon as it gets done, you want to go ahead and this is what the final product looks like. So what you'll do is, just like all Letizas, some people use pound cake, some people use sponge cake, and then some people use yellow cake. So for this one, I like using pound cake. The good thing about it is that once that liquid soaks down into the bread, it's something that you can eat with a spoon, so it's exactly like a dessert.
Okay, and what do you sprinkle on top?
All right, at the very, very end, you can go ahead and do cinnamon, or you can do fresh grated cinnamon. Yeah.
And you can't buy this anywhere. It's your special recipe.
It's a special recipe, but I'm just teaching the island now how to make it, so you can actually make it at home for yourselves now.
All right, sounds good. Well, I can't wait to try that one. But first, let's make drink number 2.
Okay, for drink number 2, there's not a lot of places on the island right now that make coconut candy. Gepog was one of them. Some people make it at home. So I want to try and make a drink that you can get at a bar, or you can just make it at home. So for this one, very, very simple also. So we're gonna stick with the Stoli brand. Also, we're using Stoli sticky caramel, or salted caramel, I'm sorry. So that way it's not anything that's really too overpowering. So about 1.5 ounces. Okay, for this one, the equipment that you would need is a mixing tin, which is what I have over here.
Also already has ice inside.
Yeah, it already has ice in there. So the difference between this one, this specific drink, and the blended drink is this one is something you have to strain out, so that way you can get those diluted flavors from the alcohol. That's what a lot of people fail to see, is that the drink doesn't have to taste like alcohol for it to be strong. So you really want to follow the measurements when it comes to something like this, so that way the flavors don't overpower itself. Okay, then we're using the finest called coconut syrup. So about 1/2 ounce. Okay. Then you want to use freshly grated coconut just inside. So that way the coconut flavors kind of blend well together.
Did you make this coconut with this comes over here?
Yes, I actually called a very special uncle to borrow this. And I had to give him a wild pig and different things, and I have to bush cut his yard in order for me to do this. Okay. So once you have this, and then we're going to use coconut water, or you can use fresh coconut. Depends on how sweet it is. Some of the coconuts on the island don't exactly have that much liquid in it, so you can feel free to use this. Okay, so for this one, you want to use about 3 ounces worth of coconut.
Okay.
Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shake this up really good. That way we can dilute the flavors and really get everything to blend well. Okay, once you see the bottom of the tin start frosting up, that means the alcohol is really blended well together. Okay. Then you want to fine strain it over a glass. And what I did with this one, this is it's caramel rim. And then what I did with it is I rimmed it with fresh coconut. So that way it's something that it's that flavor, and you get that texture that you would get from coconut candy. And then fine strain it over your ice. And the last thing you would do is just top it with a little bit of 7-Up. So that way you create that fizz.
Oh, wow. This seems like the perfect drink for when you're out at the beach, you're just relaxing on a cabana, hammock or something.
Yes.
Very refreshing.
Yeah, we do get a lot, especially with a lot of the military and the tourists that come in through the island, is that they want something that really reminds them of Guam. You know, you go majority around the world, you get mojitos in Puerto Rico, different kind of things. So for us here on Guam, we want to use what we have. So coconut, of course, is something you can see all over the island. And then to be able to have something like the Letiza drink is something that really brings you back to home. And it reminds you of when you were a kid at parties and stuff like that, and you're running around. But that's something that we always have at our house.
All right, well, let's try the final product. Thanks so much, Panda.
You're welcome. Thank you, Guam.
Want to try one of those with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Ready? Cheers.
Wow, it's really good. It tastes like dessert. It tastes really a lot like Letiza.
Yeah, that's again, that's something that I really wanted to bring back, where reminds you of being a kid again.
All right, well, thanks so much. Stay tuned. We'll have more of the Fashion Hour edition of KUAM News Extra after the break.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Your love is like a fireplace. Your warm, sweet embrace. I want to see your face again. Your love is like a fireplace. Your warm, sweet embrace. I want to see your face again. 'Cause I'm caught up in the current of your love. And as you walk along the beach alone, to escape the wild stone, amplified by the musical tone, supplied by the John Dang Show. Supplied by the John Dang Show. Rockin' steady, I'm gonna put it on you, are you ready? Caught up in the current of your love.
And that's our show. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.